The year was 2189, and humanity had spread far beyond Earth. Giant cities floated above Mars, while massive colonies survived beneath the frozen oceans of Titan. Thousands of warships guarded human space, and people believed humanity had become unstoppable. But everything changed the day the Xyron appeared. Their ships looked alive, like giant black creatures moving through space without sound. Entire fleets vanished after seeing them, and no human soldier had ever survived a direct encounter. For 11 years, Earth fought a brutal war against an enemy nobody understood. Captain Elias Voss became one of the greatest heroes of that war. Soldiers trusted him more than their own commanders because Elias never abandoned his people. During the siege of Europa, he sacrificed his own battleship to save over 3,000 civilians trapped inside a collapsing colony. After that day, people across Earth called him the last shield of humanity. But while the public saw a hero, the leaders of Earth saw a problem. Elias had started asking dangerous questions. He noticed that the Xeron attacks followed strange patterns. They were not destroying random colonies. They were searching for something. The deeper Elias investigated classified military records, the more horrifying the truth became. Entire human worlds had been secretly sacrificed by Earth leadership to hide a dark secret from the public. When Elias threatened to expose everything, Earth turned against him. Near Neptune orbit, his own fleet suddenly opened fire on his command ship. Explosions ripped through the metal halls as alarms screamed across the vessel. Through a broken hologram, Elias saw Commander Vale, his closest friend, standing in silence with tears in his eyes. "I am sorry, Elias," they gave the order. Then the transmission ended and the ship began drifting alone into deep space. The damaged warship drifted through endless darkness for 6 days. Most of the systems were dead, and the freezing metal walls echoed with strange sounds that made Elias question his own mind. Oxygen levels continued dropping, while emergency lights flickered across the empty corridors. Every communication channel remained silent. Earth had abandoned him completely. Elias survived by recycling water from broken cooling pipes and using backup batteries to keep one small section of the ship alive. He barely slept because every time he closed his eyes, he remembered the faces of the soldiers he failed to save. Sometimes he heard footsteps moving through the ruined halls, even though he knew nobody else was alive aboard the ship. Then on the 7th day, the sensors suddenly activated. Unknown vessels detected. Elias rushed toward the command deck as warning alarms filled the ship. Through the cracked viewport, he saw them emerging from hyperspace. Massive black Xyron ships surrounded the dying warship, like giant predators closing in on wounded prey. Their glowing blue lights pierced the darkness, and for the first time in his life, Elias truly believed death had arrived. He reached for the self-destruct controls with shaking hands. If the Xyron captured him, Earth secrets could fall into alien hands. But before he activated the sequence, every alarm suddenly stopped. Complete silence filled the ship. Then a voice echoed inside his mind. "Do not fear." Elias froze in horror. The voice did not sound human. It sounded ancient and calm, like something older than time itself. Slowly, the largest Xyron vessel opened, and a tall, glowing figure stepped forward into open space surrounded by silver light. Then something impossible happened. The alien knelt before him. Moments later, the entire Xyron fleet bowed together, and the mysterious voice spoke once again. "The heir has finally returned." The Xyron fleet carried Elias beyond every known human system and into regions of space no Earth ship had ever reached. Outside the massive alien vessel, he saw impossible things. Giant stars chained together by ancient machines, dead planets floating in perfect circles around black holes, entire civilizations hidden inside glowing clouds larger than solar systems. Elias slowly realized humanity was only a tiny part of a much older universe. Days later, the fleet arrived at the Xeron homeworld called Nakareth. The planet floated inside the remains of a shattered star, and silver towers stretched high above glowing oceans. Giant creatures moved through the sky like living mountains, while millions of Xiran gathered across enormous bridges and temples. As Elias stepped onto the surface, every alien lowered their head before him. A towering Xiran leader named Seraphel guided Elias deep beneath the planet into an ancient chamber hidden below the city. In the center stood a massive throne made from black crystal covered in glowing symbols. The moment Elias touched it, strange memories flooded his mind. He saw giant human fleets ruling galaxies thousands of years ago. He saw worlds united under one empire. Then he saw the arrival of something terrifying. Creatures made from living darkness consumed entire stars and erased civilizations from existence. They were called the Vathar. The ancient human emperor sacrificed himself to imprison them, and before dying, he hid his bloodline on Earth. The Xiron were ordered to protect humanity until the heir returned. Elias finally understood the truth. Earth leaders had hidden for generations. Humans were descendants of ancient rulers, and he carried the final royal bloodline. But Seraphel revealed one final horror. The prison holding the Vathar was breaking apart, and only Elias could stop the coming extinction. Elias returned to Earth at the front of the massive Xiron fleet, while fear spread across every human world. News channels called him a traitor, leading an alien invasion, and thousands of warships surrounded Earth preparing for battle. Citizens watched the sky in terror as giant black Xiron vessels covered the stars above the planet. Inside Earth Command, the same leaders who betrayed Elias prepared to destroy him once again. Commander Val stood among them, carrying the guilt of what he had done. But before anyone could attack, space itself suddenly began tearing apart above the solar system. The Vathar had arrived. A giant wave of living darkness emerged from the broken void and swallowed entire fleets within seconds. Human ships exploded like dust, while planets trembled under powerful gravitational storms. Even the mighty Xiron fleets struggled against the terrifying creatures. For the first time in history, humans and aliens fought side by side against a common enemy. Elias led the final defense above Earth while explosions burned across space like dying stars. Millions watched the battle live as soldiers sacrificed themselves to slow the invasion. During the chaos, Earth leaders finally confessed the truth. They betrayed Elias because they feared humanity would follow him instead of them. Their lies had nearly doomed every civilization in existence, but Elias did not seek revenge. He only wanted to save humanity. He traveled alone to the ancient throne of stars hidden at the center of the galaxy. The moment he entered the throne, connected to his mind, an ancient power flooded through his body. Elias could feel every star and every living soul across the universe. Then the Vathar attacked Earth itself. Elias unleashed the full power of the throne, and a wave of brilliant white light exploded through the galaxy. One by one, the creatures of darkness vanished forever. When the battle finally ended, Elias Voss was gone, but the entire galaxy would remember the human soldier Earth betrayed and the king the universe chose.